As Lewis Hamilton, who is 38 years old, approaches the final years of his illustrious career, Mercedes are preparing for his eventual departure. When he does depart, they are expected to turn to Ferrari driver Charles Leclerc to fill the void. Lewis Hamilton has no plans to retire from Formula One at the moment. The Briton is expected to sign a new deal and remain in the sport at least until 2025. But at 38 years old, everyone is aware that he is in the final years of his legendary career. Mercedes are now looking in the direction of the young prodigy from Monaco, Charles Leclerc. Leclerc lived and breathed Ferrari since he was a child. Inspired by the late Jules Bianchi, he worked tirelessly to join the prestigious Ferrari Driver Academy, becoming the first member to race for the iconic red team. Leclerc's loyalty to Ferrari runs much deeper than a paycheck. It's a story of passion and dedication, culminating in his dream of racing for the team he's always admired. But with rumours swirling that Mercedes boss Toto Wolff is eager to sign him for 2025, the question remains, will Leclerc stay true to his roots or venture onto new horizons? In 2019, the Monegasque signed a 5-year-long contract with Ferrari, the longest agreement the Italian team signed with any driver. Not even Michael Schumacher was ever offered such a long contract with them. Therefore, it showed how much potential Ferrari saw in Leclerc. When asked about his future in an interview with L'Equipe, Leclerc admitted that he's content with Ferrari for now, but didn't rule out the possibility of exploring other opportunities in the future. Leclerc stated, 2024 is still a long time away, and there is still a little time left at Ferrari. This team has always been my dream. My objective for now is to win with Ferrari, then we'll see. I'm very happy at Ferrari and want to win with them. Leclerc is preparing for his 5th season at Ferrari, and in that time, he has ended Sebastian Vettel's time at the team, established himself as its long-term future, and demonstrated an obvious ability to win races and spearhead a short-lived title fight. He has also cleared 100 Grand Prix and is in his mid-20s. No wonder why Toto Wolff definitely sees him as a long-term replacement for Hamilton. Toto Wolff's interest in Charles Leclerc as a potential signing for Mercedes dates back to February 2020, when he was asked about the possibility of either Max Verstappen or Leclerc joining the team. The Austrian's response was, "I would be surprised if both of these young drivers have committed to their teams for 5 years and closed the door to everywhere else." Verstappen, who is known for his dominance at Red Bull, has a contract with the team until the end of 2028 and has won back-to-back world championships. Leclerc, on the other hand, extended his contract with Ferrari from the beginning of the 2021 season to the end of 2024. Despite taking a number of pole positions, podiums, and race wins throughout his stint with the team, Leclerc is still yet to challenge for a world championship. Leclerc led the 2022 championship with a significant 46-point margin after 3 races, driving Ferrari's most competitive car in over a decade. Unfortunately, he ended the season 146 points behind the champion Max Verstappen. Leclerc made mistakes during the season, such as spinning out in Imola and losing the lead in Paul Ricard, but he was majorly impacted by team mistakes, including poor strategy decisions in Monaco, Silverstone, and Hungary. Additionally, his engine failed twice while in the lead during the races in Spain and Azerbaijan. Ferrari's lack of in-season development meant not only did they lose touch with eventual runaway champions Red Bull, but in the closing stages, they were overhauled performance-wise by a Mercedes team that started the year mired in the midfield. Leclerc made it clear that he wants to win with Ferrari, having come through the famous Red Team's Young Driver program. However, with his contract expiring in 2024, he will have a big decision to make. If the Italian marquis cannot give the Monegasque a title-winning car, there is a high probability that he might accept the offer of a move to Mercedes. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff remains a big admirer of Leclerc and sees him as a potential successor to Hamilton. If the Silver Arrows are title contenders come 2024, it will be easy to convince Leclerc to make the switch, especially if Ferrari are still trailing their rivals. However, Ferrari are reportedly preparing for such a situation, with Windsor suggesting that the Italian team will go all out to sign McLaren driver Lando Norris. Ferrari sees the young Briton as an ideal replacement for the Monaco-born driver. Norris signed a long-term deal with McLaren last year until 2025. However, if Ferrari loses Leclerc, they will be willing to buy out his contract in order to force the move. Windsor also feels that it will be hard to turn down Ferrari for Norris, especially if they continue to outperform the Woking-based team. Windsor said, "Let's assume Leclerc went from Ferrari to Mercedes to replace Lewis, which is not a completely stupid assumption. What then would Ferrari do? I think they would go massively all out to get Lando. And I think Lando at that point would find it quite hard to say no, putting aside all the contractual stuff, because I do think that at that level, they can afford to solve contractual problems. Let's take a look at other drivers who could be possible candidates to replace Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes. Esteban Ocon was Mercedes Jr. for a long time before he had to switch camps and cut ties with the German outfit. Since moving from Mercedes for the 2020 F1 season, Ocon has scored a podium with Renault in 2020 and won a race with Alpine in 2021. The driver was well liked by Toto Wolff and has kept those tyres strong even after all these years. Once Lewis Hamilton retires, Wolff could look at Ocon as the perfect team player and a perfect foil for George Russell within the team. Having said that, Ocon has been in contention for the Mercedes seat for a long time now. In the past, it was Bottas who occupied it while the French driver was looked at as a reserve. The team did not find the French driver an attractive enough proposition then, and even now, it could go against him. Mick Schumacher has been tipped to replace Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes. Schumacher, the son of F1 icon Michael, has taken the reserve driver role with Mercedes for 2023 after losing his seat at Haas. And the German youngster has been identified by his uncle Ralph, who is also a former F1 driver, as a ready-made replacement for Hamilton when the 37-year-old steps away from the paddock. Seven-time champion Hamilton finished 35 points behind new teammate George Russell in a miserable winless season in his underperforming W13 car in 2022. And Ralph, now a prominent pundit after a decade on the grid between 97 and 2007, believes his nephew Mick has what it takes to replace Hamilton. The German said, "It's a great opportunity for Mick. He can watch a top team and learn a lot. Let's say George Russell is faster than Lewis Hamilton again. Will he want to continue it all? That will be exciting." But Lewis has so much credit with Mercedes that he can decide for himself. In any case, the money won't play a role for him. He has more than enough of it. What will be decisive is who suits the new car better. Lewis Hamilton is still an absolute top driver, but he is no longer the youngest. The ravages of time are wearing on him, so you never know. I think it's a win-win situation for the team and Mick. Hamilton, however, has so far given no indication that he is edging towards retirement and will be desperate to reignite his rivalry with world champion Max Verstappen in 2023. But Ralph insists that there could still be opportunities elsewhere on the grid in 2024 if Schumacher impresses as a reserve driver following his Mercedes reprieve. He added, Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff has already said that Mick belongs in a regular cockpit with his skills. I think there could be interesting possibilities in 2024. Mercedes not only has its own team, but also partner teams where you can have an influence. Will Leclerc take the leap of faith and join the reigning champions, or will he stay loyal to the team he loves? What's your thought about this? Let us know in the comments section below.